Hey everybody, Jerry Teabag Hack here with a little bit of head bobbing music for you. Los Lobos, Set Me Free, Rosalie. One of my favorite songs of all time. But sorry guys, you guys put on waivers. I'll get rid of you. Just here to tell you about our podcast starting up in September. Myself and Craig C. Tone Reedy. I'll pull up a picture of Craig so you can see what a handsome guy he is, and there he is. That's Craig, and he's a great guy. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and we're also gonna have as a weekly special guest doing a segment about what's giving him acid indigestion. It's gonna be called Mad Adam. This is Adam. You're you're absolutely gonna get a kick out of him. He's a hilarious guy, and as for me, I am the author of Memoir of a Hockey Nobody. 3 times was the #1 hockey book in Canada, and very proud of it. And sold all over the world. And I get messages from a lot of different people, and it's done extraordinarily well for a self-published book. I've also written The Crazy Life and Times of Jack Rat Fink, a not so very true story. So, novel about 2 kids growing up in the 80s, and they get themselves into some pretty crazy situations. And it's also available on Amazon and doing pretty well, and getting lots of great reviews. And everybody who's read it has loved it. So, pick up a copy if you are so inclined, and I'm sure you won't regret it. So, um, yeah, as for the podcast, it starts in September. It's going to be available on YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts. And it'll be about 45 minutes to an hour every week, and we got a lot of great guests already lined up. And the first was going to be well, he's gonna be first to be interviewed. It probably won't be the first episode, but none other than Stan Fischler, who's written over 100 books, and he's called the Hockey Maven. Maven means expert, and the guy is a a walking encyclopedia of hockey. And we're gonna have a 2-parter with him, and he's gonna talk about his book Tales of Brooklyn, which encompasses his growing up in the 30s and 40s in Brooklyn, and a very nostalgic. If you're into nostalgia, it's a great book to read, and I loved it. We're also gonna have Kelly Rudy with Kirsty McClellan Day. They're both going to be on, and they're going to talk about their collaboration and in writing this book, Calling the Shots, and another excellent book. And Kelly and I actually have a friend in common. When I played up in Whitehorse, the other goalie was a guy named Dennis Salamandic, and Dennis was the other goalie for Medicine Tigers when Kelly Rudy played there. So we're going to have lots to talk about. We were also going to talk to Perry Lefko. He's written a book with Nick Kiprios called Undrafted: Hockey Family and What It Takes to Be a Pro. Nick came basically out of nowhere, was undrafted, and made it to the NHL, and was part of the '94 Ranger team that broke my heart and won the Stanley Cup and beat my Canucks uh, by 1 goal in Game 7. And he's also written this book with Eddie Olczyk, Beating the Odds in Hockey and in Life. Very inspirational book. Eddie had a very public battle with cancer, and he writes about it all in here, and very, very good book. Perry's also written a book with Doug Flutie, so I haven't read this one yet, but I will, and it's we're going to talk to him about all of that. We're also got Greg Oliver, who's another writer from Ontario, who's written a lot of books, and he wrote this one, Gibby, The Tales of a Baseball Lifer. I've heard this one is excellent, and looking forward to reading that. Apparently, John Gibbons is a great storyteller, and hopefully we'll be able to get him on and talk about it. So Greg's also written this book about Who's the Man, Billy Van, with Billy Van. If you're not as old as me, you might not remember him, but when I was a kid, he was on TV all the time, and he's a super funny guy, and I'm looking forward to reading that. We're also going to have George Grimm, who's written a couple books about the New York Rangers. This one, We Did Everything But Win, and about the New York Rangers during the time of Emil Francis. And Emil Francis was a goalie and made it to the NHL. So we're going to talk to George about, he got to interview Emil Francis extensively. So we're going to talk to him about that. And now that Emil is gone, we may rest in peace. We're not able to get him on, but George is the next best thing because he, like I said, he had many interviews with him. We're also going to support the independent authors, the self-published people, and you're looking at one, and so we really want to support that group. So the first one we're going to have on is Shauna K. Rocky. She's from Pennsylvania, and she's written Shattered, Guardian Series Book 1, and also a sequel to this book called Restored. Both of them really good. She's an excellent writer. I get lost in her words. Like I'll be reading her books and all of a sudden an hour will pass by and seems like 5 minutes. So excellent books. If you want to grab a copy and support her, that would be awesome. I'm sure she'd be very happy about that. Also, going to have T.W. Robinson, who's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He's a former police officer, and this book's about a bunch of cops get together for one of them is retiring, and they tell war stories and stuff. And this book really surprised me because it didn't really have a plot. It just had a bunch of stories, and then it it was entertaining and everything. Oh, this is great, but then the ending came. Oh my goodness, my jaw must have hit the floor because he just ties it all together in a neat little bow, and it's a shocking end. It just really is, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him about that and how he came up with the ideas and stuff. So yeah, that's it. We've got lots more lined up, and Mad Adam too, and we'll looking forward to September, and hope you'll subscribe and support the channel and listen on all the places you can get your podcast. So we're gonna finish up with a little more head bobbing music, and you're welcome to tap your toes or whatever. And you can't not like this song. You just can't. All right, people. I'm out of here, and hope to see you soon. And I hope everybody tunes in, and go Canucks, go. See you later.